Welcome to Dungeon Academics. My name is Thomas and I will be your instructor. This video will be an example playthrough for my FRAP system, Flip, Remove, Add Plaques. The previous video, which is linked in the description, gave a brief introduction to what each of these components are. I'd thoroughly recommend you check it out before watching this video if you haven't seen it already. So, the setup of the play. We have four characters. There is Ace McBrosky, the adventurer, Di Jones, the extreme sports enthusiast, Susan Feather, the scientist, and Tarquin, the icon. Players, after your encounter at the docks and your struggle across the bridge, you have been running through the jungle for hours, it seems. The drums of your pursuers beat rapidly behind you. They are close. You burst forth onto a clearing and are presented with a cliff towering over you, 30 meters of jagged volcanic rock hanging with thorned vines. This will be a difficult challenge. One of the players asks, do we have time for a break before we climb up the cliff? The enemy is close behind you. You have not earned enough time to take a break. If you can succeed this challenge with time spare, you might be able to take a break at the top. But for now, you must climb. I'll assemble the challenge while you decide what to do. As the games master, it is my responsibility to assemble this challenge. The cliff is quite significant. There are 3 levels of challenge to bypass. This is an individual task. This means you will all need to attempt it. In addition to that, it is a persistent task. That means if you do not complete the challenge in 1 round, you must take a second round to finish it off. It is a challenging route. There is an obstacle preventing easy climbing. And there is a hazard, poisonous thorns on the vines that hang from the cliff. Okay, players, what would you like to do? Di Jones speaks up first. I'm a climber. I do this professionally. I'm probably going to be the best at the party. I'm sure I've got climbing gear in my backpack. Maybe I can find a safe route up for everyone. Perhaps I should go first. Susan speaks up next. That sounds like a good idea, sweetheart. I'm not that great at climbing myself. I'm getting old in my years. Perhaps if you could help me with a rope or something, it would be much appreciated. Tarquin speaks up as well. Climbing? In this suit? What are you thinking? This is finest wool. I suppose if I must, but I must confess I'm not going to be very good at this. I have issues with activities of this sort. Ace McBrosky speaks up as well. Whilst you are probably a better climber than me, Diane, I have this natural leader perk, and if I can go first, I might be able to give everyone else a bonus as well. I'll probably have to tank the damage from the poisonous thorns, but it's worth it if I can get to the top first and help everyone out. They decide that's what they're going to do. Ace will go first to try and use his natural leader perk. Di Jones will follow with a rope, and hopefully that will help Susan and Tarquin get to the top as well. So, Ace McBrosky, what are your relevant stats for this? I need your strength, your climbing, your player level, and you can use hyper strength if you have it as well. All right, I have got strength 5, climbing 3, and I'm still player level 1. I do have some hyper strength, so maybe I can add that in later. I'll put that to the side. Okay, 5, 3, 1. That means you ignore the first 5 dice, then you take the next 3, as well as the 2 basic dice you always get, and you get 1 reroll. Ignore 5, take 3, 1 reroll, plus the 2 basic dice. You got those right, the dice right there, Ace? I have indeed. I'll roll them. And I'll take a reroll. Great. Those are my action points. Let's see what I can do. Well, the first thing I have to do is I have to bypass this challenge. I have enough points to do that. So I'll spend 5 points and remove that. I'll use 2 dice with 3, so I get 1 point of change to spend later. Okay. the challenge, 5, 6, 4. I don't have enough points to do all of those yet. I'll tell you what, I'll use this dice and this spare change to activate my hyper strength. That gives me 9 extra points. And with those 9 points, I can remove these 2 challenge plaques. Great. There's a small problem. I only have a few points left. I think I've got a solution. If this natural leader perk, if I've got the points to add that, it'll cost me 5 points to add it, but I get 10 points back if it allows me to complete the challenge. I would have enough points, so I'll spend my last 5 points to activate natural leader, and I'll spend the 2 hero points as well. Oh, and there was 1 hero point for hyper ability. Now I've got plus 10. That gives me enough to make it to the top, and this natural leader perk remains in place, so everyone else will get the benefit plus 10. I have to tank the damage for the poisonous thorns, but I make it to the top. I shout down, "Just do it the way I did it." All right, Di Jones, you're up next. So the Games Master reassembles the challenge, brings back the challenging route token. The natural leader remains in play. There's a plus 10 to your score as long as you score something on your dice. If you roll 0 on your dice, you can't use any of the plaques that are already in play. All right, Di, let's see what your situation is. Well, I'm not as strong as Ace. I've got strength 4, but I'm a lot better at climbing. So I've got climbing 6. I'm also level 1. Okay, so let's put those in order. 6, 4, 1. You ignore the first 6 dice, you take the next 4, and you get 1 reroll. And remember the 2 standard dice that everyone gets. Di rolls the dice, gets the reroll. Okay, that's plenty of points. All right, let's see what I can do here. I've also got hyper strength 3. I'm going to add that, so that'll cost me this dice and 1 hero point. Fantastic. What else can I do? Oh, now, I've got the ability Deep Pockets. I'd like to use that. It'll cost me 2 points and 1 more hero point. But I'd like to reach into my backpack and see if I have some sort of climbing gear. All right, climbing gear, let's have a look. Climbing gear for use in climbing, abseiling, etc. You've got a backpack, so that's size 4. Okay, you've got bulk 3. It doesn't cost you any points for that. Tech level is 2. That's appropriate for this adventure, so it won't cost you any more points to get that. It's just cost and rarity. Cost 2, rarity 1, that's 3 points. Your deep pocket is ability 4. That's fine. It'll cost you 2 points per level. So that's, you're using 3 levels of it. That'll cost you 6 action points, and you can get some climbing gear. Okay, well, I can pay that. I spend the points. And so now we have climbing gear. This is also persistent, so everyone gets the benefit of that. Right, I have plenty of points now. I've definitely got enough to bypass the challenge, but I think I'll spend some of my points to actually flip the challenge. So instead of being a challenging route, I can show everyone the easy way. So even though I'm spending 15 points, I get 5 points back. So I'll spend the 15 points on the dice. Well, actually, I can use this and then 5 points from the dice. But then I get 5 points back from the change. And then, okay, I've got enough points to do something interesting. With this plus 10, this 9, and the change that I've got, I can perhaps even flip one of these challenge tokens. Let's have a look. And I look good doing it. Regain some hero points. Well, I've still got some left. We've learned something to do. Gain experience in a relevant skill. Perhaps not that one. Oh, this is the one. Gain some time back. So I'm going to remove these challenges and flip this one, and that spends the last of my points. Okay. Well, this certainly has made things easier for everyone else. And you've managed to regain a little bit of time back as well. So, Di makes it up to the top. She's shown everyone the easy way, and she's left some climbing gear so that everyone can use that as well. Who was next? Susan? Okay, I'll reassemble the challenge. Susan, the challenge is getting a little bit easier now. You've been shown the easy way to climb up. There is some rope, and you get the bonus for Ace's natural leader. Can I ask, what's your relevant skills for this? Well, I'm not that great at climbing, and I'm certainly not as strong as everyone else. I've got 2 and 2, and I'm still level 1 like everyone else. But I think I might have some useful perks to get out the way. So let's have a look. 2 and 2 means I ignore the first 2 dice and I take the next 2. So I'll take those 2 dice and the 2 basic ones that everyone gets. I'll roll them and I get 1 reroll with a reroll. Oh, I've got a few points there. I think I might be able to do this. First thing, I need to bypass this oh no, there is no obstacle anymore, but I've got these poisonous thorns to worry about. I'm sure I've got something like that. I've actually got some gardening gloves. Can I use them? Let's have a look. Gardening gloves. For use when handling plants, negates physical damage. 1 point of armor on the hands and +5 versus hazard. Well, that seems to be the perfect piece of equipment for this. So do you want to well, you can actually bypass this without needing to do anything because you ignore the physical damage. I know, but maybe to make it easier for Tarquin, I'll spend a few points. I've got +5 and I've got 10 here. That would be enough to flip the poisonous thorns, wouldn't it? Well, yes, okay. So you can spend 15 from these 2 and we can flip the hazard. You've now got some poisonous thorns. You can keep those in some sort of container or pocket and potentially use them later on. So I shall remove this. You can put this one with your character sheet as an object you can use later. Right. Ooh, I've also got something quite useful here. I'm a botanist, so I'm going to spend a couple of my points from the dice and I'll use this. It says use hyperintelligence in any check involving plants. Now, as I'm going to be climbing up these vines, can I use that? Well, that sounds perfectly reasonable. Okay, so spend a couple of points and a hero point, and spend this dice. Okay, so you can now add your hyperintelligence if you want. Excellent. Okay, so that will cost me another hero point, and it'll cost me these dice, these points here. Okay, now looking at all these points that I've got left, I've definitely got enough points to remove all of these challenges, but I think I've got enough to flip them all. If I spend them this way, I can flip this one, I can flip this one, and I've just got enough points left with this to remove that, so I get to the top. I gain 2 hero points back, and I also gain some time. Oh, very good. Okay, that's the way to do it, I guess. So Susan has made it up to the top. She's also earned some time back, and she's regained a couple of hero points for herself. Fantastic. Tarquin, you are up last. There are a lot of advantages here, but I know you said that climbing was not your strong point. Let's see what you can do. In fact, as long as you manage to score something, there's +25 here. That's enough to remove all of these and potentially even flip a couple of them as well. All right, let's have a look. Well, I'm not very strong. My strength is 2, and I have no skill in climbing whatsoever. So I would be 2, 1, 0. I'd be skipping 2 dice and rolling 1. You know what? Even with the 2 basic dice, the chance of me scoring nothing is quite significant. And I wouldn't have any rerolls, would I? I'm afraid not. 2, 1, 0 gets you no rerolls. Can I do a flashback? Oh, well, do you have any unspent experience points? Yeah, I've got plenty of unspent experience. Okay, here's the childhood scene. It's a bleak summer's day in the North Yorkshire moors. The driving wind and rain pelting the barren landscape. A father dressed in an abominable red puffer jacket and a baseball cap is dragging his unwilling son to a rather lonely, rusty children's play park. Come on, Jack. You're going to have to learn to play with the other kids eventually, and you need to build up some strength if you're ever going to join the school rugby team. But father, please don't call me Jack. I prefer Tarquin. Come on, son, let's get up there and show me what you can do on those climbing bars. But father, I want to be at home. I could be safe and dry and warm and reading fashionable magazines. Why do I have to be outside? This is humiliating. No son of mine will get to school without being on the rugby team. You need to get yourself in shape, Tarquin. Now climb those damn monkey bars. Reluctant, humiliated, soaking wet, I climb. I hate this life. Well, Tarquin, that certainly is enough reason for your character to have some skill in climbing. I'll allow you to spend a few experience points and take a couple of levels in climbing if you want. Fantastic. Okay, so now I have 2 levels in climbing. Strength 2, skill 2, level 1. So that would mean I ignore 2 dice, I take 2 dice, and I get 1 reroll as well as the 2 basic dice. Here we go. And the reroll. Oh, that's plenty of points. Well, I don't have any epic ability to, any hyper ability to give me extra points, but I'm sure I might have something that could be useful for us. I have plus 25 here. That's plenty. And from the dice, I have a few extra. Well, I can spend 12 points to flip this one. That's a critical success, so I regain some time. I also have enough points to flip this one, so I can regain a couple of hyper points. I have enough points to remove this one, so I make it to the top. And I have 2 points extra. I'm going to add one of my perks. Let me take a selfie. As I'm climbing up, I pull out my camera phone, give a smile to the camera, take and post a selfie, hashtag doing sports, hashtag outside fashion. That will allow me to gain double the rewards on this crit, so I regain 2 time, and as I can do this, I can pass one of those regained times to Ace. That means we made it up faster than promptly, I believe. Well, yes, as you all gained time climbing the cliff, once you get to the top, you actually have time to take a break if you so want. I'll remind you that Ace has taken some poison damage from the thorns, and you've all lost some damage from the previous encounters. So what would you like to do? Using your break, you can rest and recuperate, you can explore the area, or you can try to craft a useful item. Decide amongst yourself and we'll work out what happens. Okay, that was an example of play for a single encounter. The 4 of them made it up to the cliff. They wouldn't have been able to do that without coordinating their efforts. A lot of the players have abilities that not only help themselves but help the rest of the party. The idea being that you can have some players who are stronger in areas assisting others that are weaker. In this game, coordination and teamwork are absolutely fundamental. I hope that all made sense. Again, this is a very rough mock-up of what's going on. I'll hope to have some nicer versions at some point in the future when I'm able to recruit some kind of professional artist. But that's the kind of game that I want to play. It's very hands-on, it's very tactile. Coordination and teamwork is built into the system. There's a degree of planning. All the players would have been able to make it up the cliff eventually, but how many turns would it have taken and how much time would they have lost? The only reason they were able to take a break at the top is because they got through it quickly and they regained enough time. So, that's my thoughts. I'd love to hear your thinking on the FRAP system. Is this the kind of system that you'd like to use in a game? Please let me know and enjoy your next game, whatever it may be.